Talk about infertility. The struggle with infertility reaches far beyond the desire to start a family. It can also take a toll on someone's mental and emotional health.
Yeah, joining us now to help talk about the impact and how to support those going through treatment is psychologist Dr. Elizabeth Grill. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me during the end of National Infertility Awareness Week.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Infertility can be challenging to someone's mental health. So what are some of the issues that folks deal with?
Well, we know that the distress levels are as high for people who are struggling to conceive as they are for people who are diagnosed with things like cancer and other, major illnesses. So I always like to put that statistic out to start with because it really validates just how tremendous the anxiety and the depression are for people who are struggling.
All right, let's talk about the stigma surrounding infertility. It is really a major factor in stress and anxiety. How can women feel more empowered instead of, I hate to say, but many of them feel ashamed?
There's so much shame, there's so much sense of failure as people go through this, and that's really what this whole week is about, National Infertility Awareness Week, because we're out there trying to bust through the silence and the isolation and the shame and to tell people that there are resources there where they can get help, like Resolve and First Response. There are just wonderful places they can go where they don't have to suffer in silence and be alone. So many people blame themselves and feel like it's their fault, and it's no one's fault.
Yeah, absolutely not. And, as people go through fertility treatments, I know that those treatments can impact your psyche and can impact your mood as well.
Oh, absolutely. So there's the diagnosis and then there's the treatment, like you're mentioning itself. You're juggling doctor's appointments and missing work and doing injections every day. So it's completely all consuming. And there's other research that shows that the failure of an IVF cycle is equated to things like worse than divorce or loss of a loved one or breast cancer. So, it's really, really a tremendous amount of distress, both being diagnosed with this and then going through treatment to try and build your family.
And now, you mentioned that this is National Infertility Awareness Week. What are some ways that people can support their friends and family who are going through this?
Yeah, people are usually well-intended. They can say really stupid things, but they can be very well-intended. And so you don't want to go around saying things like, oh, just relax and then maybe you'll get pregnant. So you really want to go to resources like I mentioned. Resolve.org has lists of things you can do to support people. Try and listen and don't give advice. Just go to people you know are struggling and say, I'm here for you. What do you need? How can I help you? So sit with their pain, sit with their struggle, but don't tell them what to do.
Yeah. And as a society, I feel like, the conversations we have around fertility and births and everything else, I feel like it's even the bigger thing, isn't it? Because it's part of all of our lives, and then we hear it, whether it's a birth announcement, whether it's, oh, well, when's the baby coming? Whether it's all these things, it's all the time.
Right. People are bombarded with those images all the time.
Yeah.
Just things like Mother's Day is coming up. That's an incredibly painful weekend for most people, but other people aren't sensitized to that. So just make sure you know that people around you, 1 in 6 now, the World Health Organization said it's 1 in 6 people are struggling. We used to say 1 in 8 all the time until recently. So if you're not struggling, you know someone who is struggling. This is a very, very common problem. So be sensitive when you're out there and don't ask people when you're at parties, oh, so when are you planning to have children?
Right.
When are you planning on having your second child? That's private information that can be devastating for people who are struggling.
Yeah, Dr. Grill, it is important to be aware of that and be cognizant and sensitive of that. We really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. Take care.
And for more information or to find a support group, visit resolve.org/first response. You can also follow them on Instagram to access additional resources and to learn more about National Infertility Awareness Week.